Rose. Okay. Rosemary?
Rosemary Jaramillo with the Alzheimer's Association.
Okay, any other members that yes, Elaine?
Elaine McKenzie, Colorado Springs.
Okay. And then our guests, let's see, let me start at the top up here. So, well, Jessica's here. Jessica Bechtel.
Yes, hi there, Jessica Bechtel, PPACG. I'm here for tech support.
All right. Jenny.
Jenny Danner, Park County Senior Coalition.
Great. We look forward to your presentation in a bit. Michelle. Michelle Chamberlain.
Michelle Chamberlain from the Independent Center.
Great. Welcome. Dave Summers.
Dave Summers, I'm with Invita.
Laura Cruz.
Laura Cruz, Mobility Coordinator for PPACG.
Jennifer Horn.
Jennifer Horn with PPAAA, the Area Agency on Aging and the Family Caregiver Support Center. Sorry, I have an apple in my mouth.
Jenny Nehill.
Jenny Nyhill, military intern working with the AAA.
Okay, Nehill. Okay, I'll get that right next time. Bill, did I miss you?
I think so.
Oh.
Bill Bowles, Park County, but reporting from College Station, Texas.
Oh, wonderful. Yay. Glad you were able to connect. Great. Andy Gunning.
Morning, everybody. Andy Gunning with PPACG, Executive Director. Good to see everybody.
Hey, great to see you here. Kathy.
Yeah, Kathy Lowry with Teller Senior Coalition.
Wonderful. Lucy.
Good morning, everyone. Lucy Crandall with the Seniors Blue Book. Happy holidays. Miss you guys.
Right. Feel like missing everybody in the room together. Did I miss anybody? Melody.
Melody Dowell, Program Services and Contracts Administrator.
And Melissa.
And Melissa Martz with the Pikes Peak Area Agency on Aging.
Okay. Well, thank you everyone for attending this morning. Happy to see all of you either in person or online. Let's begin with our agenda, approval of our agenda. Are there any additions or corrections you want to make to the agenda for today's meeting? Okay, and then hearing none, we have the minutes from our October 28th meeting. Are there any additions or corrections to that, to the minutes?
Bill Bowles, I move we approve both of them.
All right, thank you, Bill. Is there a second to that?
Yeah, I'll second. B, it's Eric.
Eric seconds the agenda and the minutes. All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Okay. Thank you. The agenda and the minutes are accepted. Okay, let's move on to our public comments. Melissa, do we have any public comments today? No? All right. So that moves us right into our.
I'm sorry, B, this is Andy Gunning. Can I make a comment real quick?
Yes, absolutely. Go ahead.
Sorry for the interruption. I just thought of this as I was looking through the agenda, which looking forward to hearing the update from Park County. Reminded me that at our board meeting yesterday, the board of directors met and they awarded their annual Communities Working Together award. It's something that we started, the board started just last year. And their first awardee last year was Norm Steen, Teller County Commissioner. And this year we had a really strong applicant pool, nomination pool of a handful of folks that were nominated, but the selection committee of it was Stan Vanderwerf, Nancy Hencham from the city of Colorado Springs, and Mayor John Grant from Manitou Springs. They awarded this year's award to Dick Elsner, Park County Commissioner, and recognized all the outstanding work he's doing in a bunch of different areas. He was instrumental in getting the Health Services District set up in Park County, very instrumental in working with senior issues in Park and working across jurisdictional boundaries on a bunch of different projects. So I just wanted to pass that along.
Wonderful. Congratulations to Dick and to all the people that were involved with the projects that he was working on. Great. Okay, thank you, Andy. Let's move on then to Park County Senior Coalition. Jenny Danner is our presenter today.
Okay, well, that's great news. Thank you so much, Andy, for sharing that with us and getting us started here on a very positive note. Can everyone hear me okay?
Yes.
I made a PowerPoint, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Please let me know of any issues.
So give me a second, Jenny. I'm working on that.
Okay.
So Jenny, you should be able to share your screen now.
Okay.
Just want to let everyone know that Jody he joined us from.
Okay, can everyone see the PowerPoint okay? All right, I'm seeing some heads nod. That's great. I'm going to go ahead and get started. Thank you so much for the time today to talk about our work here. My name is Jenny Danner, and I am the Executive Director of the Park County Senior Coalition. A little bit of background on the Park County Senior Coalition. It was established in 1977 as a social organization for Fair Play seniors. These social gatherings created an opportunity for seniors to get together and to talk. And what they realized was that senior needs were not being met. So it became clear that the problems they were having were common also throughout all communities in Park County, and they were not just central to Fair Play. So this led to several organizational efforts and success in 1984 when the Park County Senior Coalition was established as a 501c3. With nonprofit status, the coalition administered Title III grant funds for transportation and socialization purposes. And eventually the Park County Senior Coalition became a service provider funded by PPACG and the AAA to provide a variety of programs and carry out our mission. Our mission is to help seniors maintain the highest quality of life by remaining in their homes as long as they wish and are able. We value dignity, independence, and safety. So fast forward to today, 2021, now almost 2022, and we are the only service provider in all of Park County for older residents 60 years and up. So when I talk about all of Park County, this is what I'm talking about. So Park County is over 2,200 square miles, which is bigger than the state of Delaware. With our population of over 18,500, this means that there are on average 7 people per square mile. So for those of us who do not think in square miles, that 1 square mile is equivalent to 484 football fields or 640 acres. So there are 7 people per 484 football fields or 7 people per 640 acres of land. There are also more than 25% of residents who are 60 years and older. So the Park County Senior Coalition serves clients in this entire area. And this map is to emphasize just how large our service area truly is. And most of our clients are not living in these town centers here. They are living miles back on dirt roads in these areas here. So it is a lot of ground to cover. The average elevation of Park County is 9,000 feet. And in order to leave the county, you have to cross at least one mountain pass. So this is no doubt a very difficult place to live at any age. But when living in Park County, there's truly no place like home. And our whole goal here at the Park County Senior Coalition is to help seniors age in place in a place that they love. So let me show you a few of the reasons why we love where we live. And although everyone ages here for their own reasons, the everyday beauty is definitely a common reason. These are all photos that I have taken just to provide a glimpse into a typical day in Park County. So between the natural beauty and the wildlife, these are big reasons why this is such a unique place. Our clients have all lived here for a very long time. They've raised their children here. They may have raised livestock here, and they have watched wild animals in the area grow up. They have also built their communities here. Park County definitely
737 with service to
Park County definitely
Chicago.
attracts
If you are
rugged
in-
individualists.
Whoever, please mute. Please mute.
If you have more than just That's a Jody, personal can you identification- mute?
Hold on a second, guys.
Okay, so Park County definitely attracts rugged individualists. And in fact, it says on our county website that it's an ideal place to live for those to whom a rugged, self-reliant, but community-minded way of life looks appealing. And it's very true. Rugged individualists with a strong community. And the networks that these residents build are strong. So of course, living with immense beauty comes immense challenges. Unfortunately, in Park County, these challenges mean that it's increasingly difficult to age in place. Some of these main challenges are that there's no healthcare in Park County. Older adults are traveling on average 60 to 100 miles to go to doctor's appointments. And Park County also operates in a food desert, meaning there's limited access to grocery stores and healthy food options. Transportation is another major challenge, and there's currently no public transit options. So when clients do go to a medical appointment or to the grocery store, they're often driving over a mountain pass or dealing with hazardous weather conditions and road closures. Living in the mountains is extremely difficult, and it takes a lot of work to keep up your home. So being able to age in the mountains means finding help with strenuous mountain chores that keep you warm and safe. Geographic isolation is a multi-layer issue, but it can often result in a lack of connection and socialization, and therefore increased mental health issues. So these challenges make our work even more important because our programs help offer solutions. We work closely with the AAA to adapt our programs for our rural area. We provide programs for food and transportation to medical appointments in the grocery store and chores that keep seniors safe at home. We are also working to combat isolation by having a few social events and have hosted picnics, fraud prevention seminars, brunches, crafts, and more as we safely were able to. Our newsletter is another way we stay connected to our clients. The programs we offer are the strongest tools we have to combat the challenges of aging in Park County. The first one being case management. This is always the starting point for connecting a client to our programs. With case management, we're able to regularly assess a client's changing needs, utilize programs they're eligible for, and refer them with other resources accordingly. In the area of food, we offer a rural area meal program. We have both shelf-stable and frozen meals available for our clients, and we deliver to each main community once a month so that clients have consistent nutrition to rely on, no matter how geographically isolated they may be. We also provide nutrition education with their meals. The next major program we offer is transportation. This is a mileage reimbursement for clients to be driven to a medical appointment or to the grocery store. We connect the client with a volunteer driver, or they are welcome to use a neighbor or family member. The benefits of this program are that it encourages the clients to seek medical care or food security. It provides safe transportation for the client on hazardous roads, and it offers socialization in the car with a volunteer or a neighbor. Our last program is Chore, which is financial assistance with seasonal chores that contribute to the health and safety of the senior's home. In the mountains, these are things like snow removal, firewood delivery, chimney sweeping to keep the senior warm, and yard work. In the mountains, trimming overgrown lawns or removing debris from gutters is all wildfire mitigation, and it protects the client's home from wildfire danger each summer. In 2021, we had tremendous success carrying out these programs. The Park County Senior Coalition provided 306 hours of case management, 2,646 meals, 98 hours of chore, 2,077 medical and grocery trips, 133 contacts for nutrition education, and served 471 clients. We also had over 286 volunteer hours. Looking forward, we are taking on new programs to keep clients safe at home, such as Homemaker, which is light house cleaning and housekeeping. We are also starting a new food accessibility project and placing freezers throughout Park County at our main community centers for client access to food at any time, regardless of road conditions or closures. We're also starting a neighbor calling neighbor program to increase socialization, connect seniors to our programs, and decrease isolation. We're excited to tell you all about these programs as they continue to unfold. So we are extremely grateful for our dedicated community partners, funders, generous donors, our fearless board members, hardworking staff, enthusiastic volunteers, and amazing clients. A very special thank you to the Pikes Peak Area Agency on Aging and the Regional Advisory Council. I just want to thank you all very much for your time. Feel free to let me know of any questions.
Thank you so much, Jenny. Do we have questions from the board?
That's Bill Bowles. I just want to thank Jenny for taking over and bringing things up from where we were.
Yes,
Thanks, Bill.
we appreciate her leadership. That program with food available in freezers, could you tell us more about that? I know that's new and people were excited when they heard about it.
Sure, absolutely. So this is a project that we are funding with CARES Act funding, and it is a creative idea that we've worked with the AAA to come up with. And what it is placing freezers potentially in bear-proof shelters at the main community centers throughout Park County. So we have all these main communities, as you saw in the map earlier, and these are the areas that we are aiming to put freezers in, so that folks in these areas can access the freezers. They can connect with a volunteer, access the freezers and the frozen meals that are inside the freezers at any time of day, if it's over the weekend and we're closed, or if there is hazardous weather and we can't get there, or a road closure, which happens frequently, especially along 285. So it's a way to bring food to our clients, regardless of the circumstances.
I have a question.
Great.
Do people have keys for those freezers, or are they open?
So this is a brand new program. We are going to be purchasing locks with a code for the freezers, and the volunteer will have the code and they will connect with the clients and then I'll give them the frozen meals from the freezer and then lock it back up.
Fantastic.
Just sounds like a wonderful idea for your area with everyone spread out so far and so forth.
Absolutely.
Other
So we're very
questions
excited.
for Jenny?
B, this is Melissa, and
Yes.
I have a question. Jenny, I wonder if you can comment a little bit about your volunteer base, your volunteer program, hearing that you're going to be using volunteers with the new food program. Can you just share a little bit about kind of what your volunteer program looks like and what you're doing to get more volunteers?
Sure. So when I started about 8 months ago, we had no volunteers. And since that time, we have worked very hard to grow our volunteer base. And now we have really consistent, amazing volunteers. We have connected with this RSVP program, and this is an AmeriCorps program. It's for a retired senior volunteer program, is the RSVP. And what they do is they help recruit volunteers for our organization. And it works really nicely because they're also focused on food security. And so they have their own database to post volunteer job descriptions. And we've gotten a lot of interest that way, and a lot of dedicated volunteers who not just want to come one time and help out with food distribution, but they're willing to volunteer on a monthly basis, which is really great and so needed when driving to all these different community areas once a month.
And Jenny, was that RSVP program already established in the county when you moved there, or when you started?
So it's all throughout the state. And so they just started a branch of it in Park County. And so we connected with their program manager for Park County, but it is available all throughout the state. So if anyone else is interested in looking into the RSVP program, there's probably a contact in your area who could help recruit volunteers.
Mary?
I was wondering if the volunteers that you're getting, Jenny, are those residents of your area? Are they coming from outside your county?
Yep, they've all been residents of our area.
So there are some young people there.
At least younger.
They do focus on getting retired volunteers. So their volunteer pool is older adults for sure. But yes, there definitely is a new wave of younger population in Park County, I would say.
And to what do you attribute the success? Is it an easy way for an individual who wants to volunteer to select among the jobs that are available, or what do you attribute the success to?
I would say there's additional benefits to it, and that's a big part of it, that they can provide some volunteer gifts and awards. I know they throw an event at the end of the season to celebrate the volunteers. There's also additional insurance coverage and some other mileage reimbursement that they can do as well. And so those incentives, I believe, help volunteers to feel more secure in especially driving on mountain roads.
Wonderful. That's interesting, because I mean, you've grown that volunteer pool so quickly. I just was wondering, what are the factors that contributed to the success?
This is Melody, the Program Services and Contracts Administrator. I don't have a question, but I wanted to say thank you, Jenny. I wanted to let this group know that you have been wonderful to work with. She has enthusiastically embraced this position and these programs and hit the ground running. We spent a lot of time when Jenny first started doing trainings together, and it's just really great to see her dedication to these programs. So thank you.
Wonderful. Joe,
Jenny,
Joe Ruth.
This is Joe Ruth. I wondered, when you're talking with your recipients of participants in your program themselves, what is their feeling of, how do they express their sense of security, their sense of strength? What kind of internal sense do you have that your program is making a difference for them?
That's a really interesting question. I would say that this touches on the point of rugged individualism again, that the majority of the clients that we're working with need just a little bit of support to help stay here safely. And we're able to offer that. The majority of clients we work with are so gracious and very thankful for the programs that we have. They're very excited that the coalition is still up and running and going. It's definitely a sense of gratitude that I get when I speak with our clients.
I am so happy to hear that because we don't talk about the mental health issues, concerns, and delights. Because what I hear is that increasingly anything we can do to help promote the sense of stability, and I am succeeding in my primary goal of maintaining in my own home, and in my own environment. And we miss that, but that's what keeps us alive.
Absolutely.
So thank you, Jenny.
Yeah, I think the Neighbor Calling Neighbor program will be really important coming down the line. The whole goal of that is really just socialization, a connection, and to connect seniors with our programs, but also just to have that weekly or monthly check-in that is so needed and something to look forward to, and something that if they weren't to pick up, something may be wrong, an emergency contact needs to be reached. So action can be taken sooner than later. It's comfort and security when you do live in an area that you are so far out there and your neighbors may not, they may all be Airbnbs, they may not be local folks. And so that Neighbor Calling Neighbor program is going to be really important coming up.
That is enormous. We are so grateful for your efforts in this community.
Thank you.
Are there any more questions for Jenny?
I do have a question.
Mary, go ahead.
Last month, we talked with presentation from Next Door Access. And I'm wondering, do you have connection with them, or does that need to be in El Paso County to get the next day access with the ramps and the railings and things like that?
They are specifically El Paso is what I believe they said during their presentation. So we are trying to see if we can work within our CHORE program and get some additional funding to do in-home modifications and then be able to help install some ramps, grab bars in the shower, things like that.
No way to extend what's already in place to cover your county as well?
I think they said they weren't able to do so.
Transportation, probably.
Yeah, it's a ways out. But we're working with the AAA. Like I said, everyone there has been so wonderful and so great, and working to adapt these programs to make them work for our area and to be creative and see how we can work best for our clients' needs.
Thank you.
Michelle Chamberlain, did you have a question?
No, I just wanted to answer Mary's question about next day access. They do some work up in Teller County, but it's that distance piece that makes it really difficult.
Absolutely.
Right.
Well, I wonder, is there a way that the equipment that they have at Next Day could be transported up there to you and have your CHORE people install it?
I like that idea. That's a really interesting idea.
And Jenny, I can just tell you that I have some new staff that's working up in Teller and Park County, and in January, we're going to come meet you and everything like that. But if that's something, we're based out of Colorado Springs, and we can talk about if that we can help you with that piece.
Fabulous. That sounds great. Thank you, Michelle.
You're welcome.
Thanks so much. That's what we like to see, is these connections being made when we have presentations and seeing how various of our providers can help the other providers. That's great. Okay, thank you very much, Jenny. We're going to move on then to membership. Marilyn, do you want to proceed?
Yes. Hi, everyone. Good morning. I think what we need to discuss this morning is we're at the end of another year, and we have term expirations and renewals upon us. We have a total of 14 members on the RAC, and they serve a 3-year period and then have the option to renew for 3 more. So 3 members have come up as expiration at this time for the first 3 years. Bill Bowles from Park County, and he has agreed to serve another 3 years. Elaine McKenzie from El Paso County has a term expiration, and she has agreed to renew for another 3 years. And myself, Marilyn, will not be renewing for another 3 years, sadly, but this winter have, some plans to be gone a lot and did not feel like I could give membership what I needed to give to it. So I will not be renewing for another 3-year term. And that being said, I feel like I've just gotten my feet wet. But now the term is over. So I've loved working with membership. I've missed seeing everyone in person a lot and wish we had more contact that way, but you're of diverse backgrounds and have lent so much to the RAC and to the AAA, and you're great. I know that RAC and AAA will continue to promote amazing services for the elderly community, and you're just great. Hopefully, the RAC will continue as our latest kind of endeavor to reach out to our communities of color and bring in representatives to advocate for resources for their areas. So that being said, thanks so much, everyone, and have a good 2022.
Well, Marilyn, we're sorry that you're going to be leaving us. We appreciated your leadership in the membership area and all your other efforts on behalf of the RAC. And so I have here a certificate of appreciation for your outstanding service to the Pikes Peak Area Council of Governments, Area Agency on Aging, Regional Advisory Council. And this is signed by myself as chairperson and Jody Barker as director of AAA. Would you like to come and receive this?
Thank you. I appreciate it. Of course.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So I'm very happy that most of our members will be continuing on for the next term. And I will appoint committee chair persons in January. Plus, we will have our election of officers in January as well. Okay, Jen, is there any report from the SRS?
I do not have anything new to report for SRS. We will be resuming our meetings at the new year.
Thank you. Okay, AAA Director's Report. I believe Melody is going to share some information.
Hi, everyone. Since Jody's traveling, he may be able to jump in. He's in the airport right now. So his update that he wanted me to pass along to everybody is about the upcoming request for proposal period. We recently sent out a notice of funding award out to current providers and potential interested providers doing a super call for AAA funds and FTA 5310 funds. So the NOFA, the Notice of Funding Award that went out, we included a template letter of intent asking providers to submit that to us, letting us know what are your programs that you plan to apply for, what are some of the projects, to give us an idea if they plan on decreasing or possibly increasing their services, and asking that they return that letter of intent to us by December 27th. So the goal is to open our request for proposal system earlier this upcoming year. We plan to open that January 5th. Last year, we opened that, I want to say February 15th. So we're bringing that up earlier so that we have more time for our internal processes. The goal being that we are able to approve and notify the providers that services are ready to go and contracts executed by July the 1st. Applicant proposals, we're asking that they return those to us by February 11th through the system, which is all online. And we also, looks like Jody sent me a text. We also discussed and decided to, after discussing with other AAAs across the state about how they handle their RFP periods, whether that was 1 year, 2 year, 4 years. And so our current cycle runs on 1 year, and we decided to stretch that out to 2 years. So that means that when we approve providers, they'll have to provide a budget each year, but they'll be approved for 2 years of services. And so they only need to apply once every 2 years. And hopefully that will make that administrative burden on them and on us a little bit lighter. So that's the update for that. Are there any questions? I just gave such good information, answered all of them. Well, if you do have any questions, please feel free to reach out to myself or to Jody if you think of anything after the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Melody.
One other thing, Jody said that at the next meeting, the current conference that he's been at, he will report back and share what he learned at that meeting, at the next draft meeting for everyone.
Okay, thank you so much. Isn't that wonderful communication? I mean, he can text us from the airport right in the middle of your report. It's sort of amazing what we can do today. In terms of my chair report, I think basically I just want to say thank you to all the members. I mean, when you look at all our members present today, you have attended either in person or on Zoom throughout this whole time period, and you have been active participants in achieving our goals for the RAC. And I really appreciate all the work that you've done and your interest and your contributions to the RAC. And it's really how this RAC continues to perform as it should. So I just want to express my gratitude to each and every one of you. Thank you to, as we've said, thank you to Marilyn as she goes off the board. And thank you to all of you who are continuing on the board. I think we do important work in reviewing the proposals of our providers who of course deliver the services to our seniors. And I know we are all dedicated to helping our seniors maintain their independence in their homes as long as possible. And of course, our providers help them do that, and our board members make sure that that money is well spent and delivers services that are needed. So thank you again to all of you, and wishing you all a happy holidays. We're going to move on then to the TRS committee met to make recommendations for the carryover funds. And Jan is going to report on that. And you got a listing of those funds in the meeting materials.
And so Jen, before you jump in, I just want to mention that we do have an actual memo with some language on here that I can put up if you would like. And then we also have the spreadsheet that kind of shows the dollar amounts and the organizations. So would you like for me to keep this one up with the dollar amounts and the organizations, or do you want me to go back to the memo?
You can keep the dollar amounts up, would be fine.
Okay, thanks.
So the TRS is a technical review subcommittee, Mary.
Thank you.
You're welcome. What we do is look over the proposals from our providers who are requesting funding from the RAC. So we met on December 1st. There were 8 providers that seeked for carryover funding. We reviewed all of these proposals and were able to ask AAA questions that we had on these applications. Based on the follow-up information that we received from providers and the AAA, we were able to reach a unanimous vote and approved this funding that you'll see here on the spreadsheet with these numbers. There was, from what I recall, there was a little bit of a allocation balance. If I'm saying that right, you guys correct me if I'm wrong, that later on may be used. And if we have additional applications that come in, we would be requesting that the TRS would be involved again later to review those applications, as those funds would be dispersed at a later time. So Chris did want me to offer her apologies that she's not able to be present today. She had some medical needs arise, but she did want to offer her apologies. She worked very hard with us on this budget process, and she is a true leader when it comes to this TRS process. I really appreciated her guidance and insight. She's very, very thorough. So I really appreciate that. And also she wanted to wish you all happy holidays and send her best New Year wishes. So the difference between proposals and application, Mary, it's a good question. The proposal that they send is pretty much the same thing. I don't think there's too much in that differentiation. They send their proposal of the application is that process. Proposal has all the detailed information of what they would be doing with that funding. So,
Was there a difference in the dates that those two things were due?
No, not to my understanding. This carryover funding was additional money that we had to disperse. The difference is that funds have to be spent by a specific date, which I believe was June. Is that correct?
That's correct.
So,
June 30th.
Yeah, so if they were not able to use these funds by June, then they weren't able to apply for it.
Were those applications already on file and they hadn't received money before?
They've already received funding. This was additional funding.
This is a plus up for those that have already been approved?
Yes.
Any new programs approved at this time?
No.
Thank
Mary,
you.
Mary, just to answer kind of your question a little bit more in depth. So with carryover funding, we can only serve the current contracted agencies. So we can't serve like new programs with the carryover funding. It has to, and the agencies that did apply for carryover funding, they also have to stay within the same line item budget that they currently have. So these are just additions to what they are currently receiving contract wise.
I have a specific question. When Fountain, and I'm not sure even that this money covers that, but when the city of Fountain requested transportation money, we couldn't fully fund them. Were they able to get some of this plus up money?
They did not apply for.
Not apply.
For goodness sake. Okay.
Are there other questions? If not, the presentation by the TRS committee serves as a motion to forward this to the PPACG. Is there a second to that motion?
Second.
Joe Ruth seconded the motion. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor of approving forwarding of this to this report to the PPACG board, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say nay. The motion has been approved. Thank you once again to the TRS committee for reading all those proposals, for the staff here at AAA for collating all that information, and of course to the providers who saw a need to expand their services and a way to reach more clients during the rest of the year through the use of these funds. So we appreciate the work of everyone here. Okay, are there any discussion items that members would like to bring to our attention? Marilyn?
It's Marilyn again. Thanks, B. This is in regard to the Adopt a Senior program that we've all talked about and, want to involve a senior with just some immediate special needs for the holidays, for just, a gift card, something to just kind of fill the gap for filling the needs of a senior. And Elaine McKenzie and I have worked on this, and we have been unable to find a person. Elaine was going to go to her church. I went to my church. I've gone to Westside Cares. We just have not found that person. So I couldn't
Marilyn, I
really.
did find one. I don't mean to interrupt, but I did find one person.
Okay. All right.
And yeah, she's a senior. She's living in another senior living facility, and she's in need of a pair of pajamas, medium-sized cotton.
Okay.
For my sake.
Yes, Elaine was going to be working on that. And then at the executive meeting, we thought we would discuss it, but there was not an executive meeting this week. So thank you, Elaine. We'll definitely look into that.
Okay, good, great, thank you.
And so that being said, I'm a member of a women's organization that meets once a month and, gives a donation towards something. So I received $120 from this organization, which they said, where should we go with this? And I said, well, I would love to put this towards some senior need. We don't have a person in mind, but I also thought of a senior group home, of which I can look in the yellow book and try to find out where they are, or if any of you know specific senior group homes that perhaps a one-time donation can be given to them for Christmas, perhaps toward a gift card or a King Soopers card for something for a meal for them for Christmas, to do a little something with that. So I will pursue that end of it. And Elaine, I will talk to you about this particular person so we can, talk about getting this need for this particular person you've identified. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Yeah, I was thinking if you were looking, you might try the Mosaic organization. They do the group homes.
Mosaic.
They have several group homes, and they have at least one for seniors.
How would I locate them? Do you have a contact, Mary?
I don't anymore. Our church used to have the chaplain. I don't have a contact at this moment, but I could find it for you.
Okay.
And who am I? I don't even know who I'm talking to. Who are you?
Oh, Marilyn Bradish.
Okay, Marilyn, I
Yes.
can get that name to you for Mosaic.
Yes. Thank
Okay.
you, Mary. That would be wonderful.
Okay, so it sounds like you'll be able to help the client that Elaine has identified, and perhaps do a little more
For
with
the group
with the group.
kind of idea.
Right.
Do something.
So that could be for the whole group home itself, or just one person?
No. My thought was something perhaps toward their Christmas meal, or putting a meal together for the holidays.
Well, I was thinking more along the line of buying them a toaster oven, something that they could use at the home and have it to keep.
Well, it could be, based on a discussion with someone there, that might be a greater need to do that. Thank you. That's a very practical idea for an entire group. Absolutely.
Do you want me to follow up with them and get back to you, or do you just want the contact?
Oh, I think that would be wonderful, Mary, if you could explore that and just let me know in the next, couple weeks before Christmas. That would be great.
Great.
Thank you.
I will do that.
Thank you, Mary.
Wonderful. Glad to see an idea come to fruition, right?
And B, this is Melissa, and I just wanted to throw out there too, Lucy Crandall put in the chat that the senior center has a tree that has names of seniors in need. So we might remember to tap into that next year, or we might even tap into it this year, who knows? So
Angel Tree has lots of trees all over town for the same thing.
Wonderful. Okay. Any other discussion items from members? Well, hearing none, our next meeting is January 27th, 2022. Right? Okay, and at that time, we will appoint our chairs, and here it says appoint executive committee. That's probably elect. Yeah, elect executive committee, which would be our first vice chair and our second vice chair. And we will have our RAC executive committee meeting on the first Tuesday at 10 a.m. via Zoom. We're going to have a hard time having that without having members. We'll figure that out. Okay. Anyway, thank you again to all our members and to our visitors. We appreciate your attendance and your contribution, and have a happy holiday.
Thank you. Happy
Bye now.
holidays.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye,
Merry
everyone.
Christmas.
Bye.
Remember, it's about Christ.
Just a little skeleton crew here in person.